Hey guys, it's Epic Underworlds. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can use untap.in and play Epic Underworlds on it. So basically all you gotta do is search up untap.in, click on the link, and then it'll bring you here. You will have to create an account. I usually just sign up using Discord because I'll link in the description to my Discord if you want to join so we can play some Epic Underworlds together. I've been having a lot of fun and stuff, and I definitely recommend you guys do it. So basically you're going to want to pick a deck. You can either make one or use one of these pre-built ones. You can either download it or just press expand, highlight the whole deck, press copy, go to untap, and then create a deck, and then just call it EU deck, stands for Epic Underworlds. You press create deck, then you press paste, and all you have to do is make sure that main deck is here. Then you can press paste, import cards, and your deck is there. That's the easy way to do it, or you could actually physically search up the cards. Make sure you type in EU 2.0 before each card name, so then you know it's from Epic Underworlds, and then type the card name like Spike, Serpent, and then boom, you got all three different like Spike Serpent cards. And you can tell because it says EU 2.0 before each card. So yeah, this is that deck, and then you can press save, and you have the deck. Then what you're going to do when you want to play a game with someone, you basically just go in the matchmaking section and you at Epic Underworlds player, and then or just ask anyone if they want to play. Then you press new game, or if they already created a game, you would switch from play to watch. Or no, sorry, you would press on play. But if you do want to spectate, you could press watch. But if you want to play the actual game, press play, and then search Epic Underworlds, assuming that they would call the lobby that name. So I would press, or if you want to create your own lobby, you would press new game. Just call it Epic Underworlds. It's a game. You can do beginner, janky, relaxed, optimized, or competitive. It doesn't really matter. I usually just press relaxed. You wouldn't do solo. It's for 2 people, and then you can allow spectators. I do have premium, so I get a few more options. Then you could start a game. And because I have premium, it starts right away. If you don't, it usually takes like 20 seconds. Then you can press enter game. Choose your deck. It's the EU deck. And then make sure to set this little total down to 0 because that is your point total. Once you get to 12, you win the game. This little black counter I don't really use. It's literally there for no reason unless you want to keep track of maybe something else. You got your deck here, and this is the area. So let's just talk about the sidebar first. So let's just draw some cards. So you would click on your deck. You can draw cards. You just select how many. On your first turn, you draw 5, or you can draw cards to your discard pile, expel, which is basically like your Underworld and Epic Underworlds. You could shuffle your deck, find card, which I don't really recommend using. What I do recommend using if you want to find a card is just press peep, and then select it to 30, because that's how many cards I have in my deck at the time, and then I can peep at my whole deck. So I press peep 30, and now I can see all my cards. And you can press X and make sure to shuffle your deck once you get your cards. So let's draw my 5 cards. This is my hand. If you don't like your hand, you can mulligan. You basically just click on this, click on these 3 bars, and then you can press mulligan 5 or mulligan 4, because in Epic Underworlds, you can only mulligan once and you would draw 1 less card. So I would go mulligan 4, and it's just as easy as that. And then let's say, okay, so you can play cards by just putting them out. Of course, you have 3 creature slots, so you can play these cards. And then let's say your opponent has, here, let me just draw a few more cards just to get some other creatures out. Let's say your opponent played a card over here, and you want to attack them. You would click on the card, and you could press target source, and then click on that card. Or if you want to attack directly, you would press target source, and then click on their little icon up there, and then it would attack directly. Or if you want to buff a creature, you could just click on that. And I know that's a little confusing. Now some other things, when you click on the card, you can add counters. So like, let's say this card gains 2 attack. It's at 4. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it would have 6 attack. And let's say it only has 1 life left, it would have 1. Or you could also add notes. Add a note, and you could just write its stats here too. And press enter. And then you and your opponent can see, if you look on the enlarged card, you can see its stats easier. Other things, you can invert if you want to flip your card upside down, and then revert if you want it back. or you can turn a card sideways to indicate that they're stunned. Yeah, so that's some things you could do. You could also clone the card. So you would just clone the card and you have 2 copies of it. And then let's say you as a card that says, send this card to the Underworld. You would drag it to the exile pile. If a card is sent to the discard pile, you would drag it to the discard. If you want to access your discard pile, you just click on it. And now you can drag cards out and back into it. So some other things on the sidebar. These don't really matter unless you want to join the voice. I recommend joining a voice on Discord if you do want to actually talk when you play, but most people don't. Then you could press on this dice if you want to roll a 6-sided dice, which is pretty cool, or a 10-sided dice. Or you could do custom. You basically just, like I've already done it here, but you could, depending on how many sides you want, you could press 1, enter, 2, enter, 3. If you want a 3-sided dice and roll that. You can draw on the playmat, so you could draw to indicate attacking, but this is honestly, but clicking on the card is what I recommend. So click target source. That is a much easier way to do it. Then what I do recommend is whenever your opponent attacks directly and you don't have a response, just press this little thumbs up. So that indicates that, it's okay that you attack directly. I don't have anything to counter it. Then if your opponent does something wrong, you could alert response, and then you could go in the chat and tell them what they did wrong. Here is insert a token. This is if you want to maybe, this doesn't really apply for Epic Underworlds, but, I guess it does in the future. You just search the token card, like Ghost token, or for Chaos Galaxy, you could search a zone. That's kind of what you would do. Then this is just, doesn't really matter. Then when you want to end the game, you click on these 3 bars, and you press leave game, and you're back. So that is basically a guide on how to use this, on how to use untap.in to play Epic Underworlds. Just a few more things with decks. When you're building your deck, you could search up your card. Let's say I want to do albino flameball. Flameball, you could add card to deck by just clicking on that, and you could see how many copies of it you want per deck. Then if you accidentally chose the wrong card, you could, then if you actually got the wrong card, you could press change set and search for other cards of that name. If you guys really like some cards, you can star them, so they always kind of appear up when you press on starred cards. And look, I have all my starred cards here. Sorry. And then if you want to add a custom playmat, if you do have premium, you would just click on your account and add these. I would look up the specific playmat size and custom card sleeves. If you guys want this as your card sleeve or playmat, just let me know and I will give you it. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching again, and I'll see you in the next Epic Underworlds video.